Everyone. Welcome back to science class. Today is September 20th. Today we've got kind of two parts to our lesson. We're going to watch some videos and take some notes on what is science, and then we'll do a little research and looking at a famous scientist of your choosing. Our learning target for today is quite long. We're going to be able to identify and give examples of observation, inference, and prediction. You should know the difference between a scientific law and a scientific theory. And then you should be able to describe the different branches of earth science and to be able to give examples of events that are associated with each. As you're watching this video, if you need to pause and complete things in your digital notebook, please do so. Just a general definition of how we're looking at science this year. It's a way of learning about the natural world. We're all scientists and we seek to understand the natural world, and we're going to be using skills like observing, inferring, and predicting. So here's a chart out of your digital notebook looking at those three main skills of scientists: observing, which is using one or more of your senses to make either qualitative or quantitative observations. An example of a qualitative observation is I smell smoke. Inferring is when you try to explain what you observe. And I might think to myself, you know what? I bet my neighbor Joe is having a bonfire. And that's different than predicting when you're making some sort of a forecast. And maybe I think the police will come because we have a neighbor that always calls the police on people when someone has a bonfire. Observing, inferring, and predicting. Another thing we should know the difference between are scientific theories and laws. A theory is a well-tested concept that explains something. An example is the Big Bang Theory. Scientific laws describe a pattern, like the law of superposition. It's important to remember that a theory explains while a law describes. We've got four main branches of earth science: geology, which studies Earth's interior and surface; astronomy, which looks at the universe, stars, planets, and moons; meteorology, where we'll examine weather and climate; and then, as its name suggests, oceanography studies the oceans. In 8th grade, we also dip into a little of physical science by looking at some chemistry standards as well. An event associated with geology could be a volcano erupting; astronomy, solar flares; meteorology, a tornado; and oceanography, we can look at tides. If you were in class, we'd look at a video for each of these four earth science events, but I'm going to skip that part right now. Famous scientists is our second part of our lesson today. I'd like you to look over the list of scientists, find someone that looks interesting to you, do some research, complete your graphic organizer and notability, then take a screenshot and share it in the discussion. So for the scientist, we'd like their name, what branch of science they're associated with, when did they do their work, what's their education, do they have a famous quote, what important things do they do, why are they a famous scientist, and then a picture. Then we'll do a little preview of the scientific method, our discussion for tomorrow. The scientific method is used to find answers to questions about the world around us. A hypothesis is an educated prediction, and this year we're going to really work on writing things as an if-then statement. Our homework for tonight is assignment number 5. Again, make sure assignments 1 through 5 are completed. Your locker should be done, and your scientist, or you'll have a working lunch coming up with Mr. Roweeder. Thanks for watching, and reach out if you have any questions.